Hi guys. I kind of wanted to go through a little bit of what to expect with high school band coming up this next year, and I felt the best way to do that instead of having another parent meeting where people try to come in and we try to find a schedule that works for everybody. If I just make a video and try to hit some of the important things and everybody can watch it in their own time, I think that's the best way to get information to both students and parents. So this is primarily for our freshmen. A lot of the high schoolers kind of already know what's going on because they've done it once before. But if you are having a student that's a freshman coming into high school band, this is kind of what to expect. So the first thing that I want to explain is that this is a co-curricular class. What that means is that students are often graded on things that are happening in the classroom as well as outside of normal school hours. So that includes performances and rehearsals and all of the things that go into that. With having said that, participation is super critical. Um, and it's not just so that the students understand what they are supposed to be doing. It's actually so that way the students around them know what to expect. So for example, if I have a student who's frequently gone in marching band, then when they show up, we have been, have students kind of start to close that gap of where they normally stand, and now we have a person there, and it shifts everybody out of the spot where they are originally supposed to be. It is expected and required if there is on a calendar that I'm going to give you, if there's an asterisk next to it, that is an optional event. Everything else is required. So that includes camp, that includes game days, parades, all of those things. Now, if there's obviously a family emergency, something along those lines, you have a vacation that you guys planned a year ago, please just contact me. If you have a student that has a tryout for travel league that they really, really need to do, and it happens to be the same day as something, just communicate with me and we'll find a way to make it work. Um, Having said all of that, grading is based off of not just their ability to perform. That's actually a very small component. A lot of it is just them showing up. So the expectation in our high school programs is not for students to be perfect, but to show that they're trying and hopefully improving throughout the year, but more importantly, that they are contributing into creating a positive culture and atmosphere for our band. We need them to have a positive attitude. We need to see effort, and we need you to be there. And if you're not progressing, that's okay. We're just trying to get everybody on the same page, and when we don't have everybody there, it does make things incredibly difficult. Um, so I'm going to go through a slideshow presentation that'll have some bullet points for you, and hopefully this will be helpful. Moving on. Please remind your kids that when they're going through band camp, if they come home and they tell you that they don't like it, they absolutely hate it. Um, it's like I said, it's very overwhelming and it's going to take some getting used to. They have to really try to focus on only one thing at a time. So when we're outside, it's movement. They got to focus on the marching part. When they get inside, they got to focus on the music part. And because they are seeing other people do both at the same time so easily, they're not going to understand, or they're going to struggle with, why is this so hard? But if you think about it, you don't have marching band when you're in third grade like you have summer rec for baseball. This is a totally new area for a lot of these kids. A lot of them don't end up falling in love with marching bands during band camp. We do games, we do all sorts of things to try and make it fun, but sometimes it doesn't settle in, and they think, okay, well, after the first football game, then I'll love it. And sometimes that doesn't even do it. Sometimes it actually takes almost the entire season. And then we come back at winter time and we realize, oh, we've been playing in our seats for a while. We kind of miss marching band. So sometimes it's a love hate relationship. Um, I have this list of things that they should bring every day. And I want to point out that if they aren't doing these things, bringing these things, it's going to make this week really brutal for them. A lot of kids go home and will tell their parents, I'm not feeling good on Tuesday of camp or even on Wednesday. And a lot of times they're not feeling well, or they have a really bad headache or something along those lines because of one of these things. So If they're not drinking enough water, or if they're not putting on sunscreen, that heat is going to take an effect on these kids. They're going to be exhausted. They're going to have headaches. Their muscles are going to be sore. And it's not necessarily whether they're super athletic or not. You're using different muscles, things that you haven't done. No, you do not need to be a stellar athlete to be doing marching band. However, it's using a muscle group that you guys aren't used to. So it's something to be aware of. When I say athletic clothes, preferably no jeans. You can wear whatever kind of clothing you really want for the most part. I mean, don't wear crop tops, right? And you're going to get burnt. So make sure you're covering yourself. I know a lot of kids have realized that wearing jean shorts during band camp is going to be awful. You're going to chafe. It's going to be brutal. So they'll wear spandex underneath their shorts. So that's something that I would recommend. As far as shoes go, do not wear cowboy boots. Do not wear Crocs. You can wear Converse, but those are a little flat. They're not going to give you the support that you need. So your feet are going to hurt. So tennis shoes are best. And I would highly recommend not getting a brand new pair of shoes the week of camp. Try to break them in a little bit. I say sunglasses or a hat just because a day of squinting is going to cause you to get headaches. And then you're going to tell your parent you don't feel good. So keep all that in mind. Send your kid with extra deodorant. They should be showering every day when they get back from camp. It's going to be hot. They're going to be pretty sweaty. Wednesday of band camp, August 5th, we do a barbecue at Chippewa Landing. This is optional, but I highly recommend kids go. But this is the day if a kid says, I can't take a full week off of school, or sorry, a full week off of work, this is the day I tell them that, well, half of the day we're going to Chippewa Landing and we're going to, swim and eat some food and have a good time. If you don't want to go to that, that's okay. But we will have a bus transport students from the school to Chippewa Landing. So we will actually get done with rehearsal at noon. And then if they choose to go home, they do. And if not, then they'll stay with me. I will have a permission slip for that. So look forward to that coming that week. The end of the week on Friday, I know a lot of parents and families are eager to go on vacation. Please stick around for Friday. I need every kid that was there at camp to go to the performance on Friday at 4:00. The performance location might change this year. So for right now, we're just going to say it's to be determined, but it'll be at 4:00. If a student is running late, we say that band camp starts at 8:00. It really does, in fact, start at 8:00. Don't be late. If your kid is running late, have them shoot me a text message or message their section leader. Somebody needs to know. We're trying to teach students that responsibility aspect, that if you are late to work, you should call your boss and tell him you're running late. And just communicate as best as you can. The students will be told if they are not prepared, if they are running late, if they're not communicating things, there needs to be some kind of consequence for that. So whether it be a lowering of the grade, whether they choose to run a lap instead of having their grade lowered. But again, I'm flexible. If they tell me that they're running late and they just say that I forgot to set my alarm or something along those lines, I just need to know. It's not that deep. So yeah. So now moving on. Uniform fitting. We do uniform fitting the Monday after band camp. So if your student is away at cross country camp, we usually try to fit them during band camp week if I can. But it's from 5 to 8 on August 10th. And if let's say you have a practice at noon that day for volleyball, send me a message. You are more than welcome to come down early. I will be here, I promise you. So you can come early, but primarily between 5 and 8. If you can make it during that time, that would be best. If you can't, please try to find some time around that date. I recommend that you wear shorts or a t-shirt that day, just because putting your uniform on over jeans is kind of uncomfortable. And you definitely don't want to be wearing a hoodie. The only thing for their uniform that parents need to provide is that they need to have black socks and a black shirt. And that black shirt actually could be a tank top if you would prefer to wear a tank top. But it needs to be black socks and a black shirt. When I say black socks, it actually needs to be like, what is it, crew length, not ankle socks, because the pant length gets hemmed to where it's just above the shoe, and when they bend their leg, you can see their ankle, and we actually get marked down in our scores for that uniformity aspect. So it has to be solid black socks. It can't have a Nike logo visible on it. So if the Nike logo, if they're knee-high socks, it's totally fine. If the logo is right at the ankle, though, we can't have that. And then we will fit students for shoes. If your child is picky about their shoes or does not want to wear a pair of shoes that have already been worn before, you do have the option to purchase shoes. You just come in and write me a check or bring in cash to the band boosters, and these are the prices. So these shoes are what we provide every student with. They're not brand new unless you buy them. Then we will get you brand new shoes. And if you have a student who is very picky about, like, let's just say I've had some athletes that are cross country or track, and they are very picky about what types of shoes they wear. A lot of them have found that the Viper Pros are preferable just because of the arch placement and things of that sort. And those are a little bit more expensive. So those would be $64. But that is the uniform fitting on August 10th. Then we go back to looking at the schedule. So I'm going to run down the schedule real quick. So we already did freshman day, band camp, uniform fitting. August 17th is not Meet the Rangers. That's a typo. That should be moved. I will change that. So August 17th is going to be our first rehearsal. August 24th is Meet the Rangers. Those are going to be flipped. So August 17th, before school starts, we're going to be in the band room and we are going to have a music rehearsal. Just run through all of the stuff. We'll get some pep band music out to everybody and just kind of get used to playing again. That is required, that rehearsal on the 17th. August 24th is the week we start getting ready to go back to school. We're going to have open house that day, I'm pretty sure. And then usually after open house is Meet the Rangers. And I'm not certain on the timing on that. I want to say the timing is 6:30. I think Meet the Rangers is at 6:30. And if you're new to the high school and you don't know what Meet the Rangers is, it is where the false athletes, anyone who's an athlete in the fall, goes to the gym and they call each team down and the kids introduce themselves and they tell what position they play, how many years they've been playing, things like that. And we get to meet all the volleyball players. We get to meet all the cross kids, all the football kids, all the cheerleaders. And then the band students are there and we'll play the fight song. We might do a couple of drumline cadences. Then everybody goes home. So parents are welcome to go to Meet the Rangers. It is open to the community. And I am guessing it is August 24th on the open house date. That's usually when we do it. Then our first game, kind of weird, says Thursday the 27th. It is in fact a Thursday. We play at the home varsity games, and that varsity game happens to be on a Thursday. So be ready for that. Call time. When I say call time, that means ready and in uniform. So it says 5:30. You might want to get them here at 5:15 so they can get dressed. Most coaches are well aware that every time there's a game, there's something like this going on, and they kind of accommodate as best they can. We just got to communicate with coaches. Monday, the 31st, is a rehearsal, 6 to 8. So we're going to talk about these rehearsals, both this one and on August 17th. These rehearsals are like team dinners beforehand. So the team dinner, if you want to think of it that way, is optional, starts at 5:00, and kids can go. Parents are providing the food. We do need parents to sign up if you are able to help out and provide a team dinner that day. And the kids eat for the first hour, and then we have our rehearsal from 6 to 8. Let's see. So then we're on another Thursday game, September 3rd. Our second game of the year is also on a Thursday. Call time will be 5:30. The Labor Day Harvest Festival on Labor Day, we do have a parade. Again, this is a required event. They need to be in uniform by 8:30. I want to say the parade either starts at 9 or 10. So, I'll double check on that. But the Harvest Festival parade on Labor Day, I need every kid there. Oh, Labor Day, there is no rehearsal. It's just the parade, and then the rest of the day is theirs. The 14th, we do have a rehearsal. The 18th is homecoming, which is going to be a busy day. So they can get a quick bite of food right after school, and then they got to come back and get into uniform. Um, if they are homecoming court, we'll talk about that later, but I've had tons of band kids on homecoming court. It's a good time. We have a rehearsal that day during the school day. We have an assembly. We have 2 parades, one in the halls for the assembly and then one for the actual community outside at, well, it's like 4 something. And then we march from the school to the athletic complex. September 19th is optional. That's why it's got the asterisks. That's CMU Band Day. And based off of student interest, we'll determine whether or not we go to that. I know it will be the day of the homecoming dance, but some kids don't want to go to the dance. So we'll see if we'll do that one. September 21st is another rehearsal. October 2nd is another football game. October 7th is our big day. This is Marching Band Festival, right? We might have to leave during the school day, but typically we leave right after school. And then we don't get home until super late. So that day we go to Big Rapids and we don't come back until almost 11:30 at night. We'll eat McDonald's on the way home. Kids have a great time. Anytime we go to McDonald's, it's a great trip. But if your kid gets really overstimulated and or is super stressed and they just want to go home, you are welcome to pick them up at festival. I just really encourage kids to watch some of the other bands. I love going to festival. It's great seeing all of those events. October 12th would be potentially our last rehearsal, and we do what's called a glow show. So we ask all of the kids to contribute and help buy glow sticks, and we just tape glow sticks all over ourselves and our instruments, and then we march our show in the dark at the athletic complex. So we love doing that one. We accept donations at the gate, so anybody who wants to donate and help the band program, that's what that's for. And then October 14th is our rain date. If October 7th has bad weather, then they might move it to the 14th. So if you could leave both the 7th and the 14th available as days that you could potentially have a performance, that would be great. And then the last fall game is October 16th, and that is senior night. So seniors, tell your parents they will want to take that day off. We have things that happen during school hours and things that happen after school hours. So here's an idea of all the things that we are doing. Again, asterisk means it is optional. You don't have to do those. So these are all during the school day. These are all after school. I want to talk briefly about pep band for basketball season. We do 3 boy games and 3 girl games. And if there is a snow day, I always cancel the pep band for that day, regardless of whether the game is happening or not. If there is a snow day and we were scheduled to do pep bands, but it's a snow day, we will not be going. I will try to reschedule, and so we can get another, let's say it was a boys game, it was snowed out, or there was a snow day that day, but they still had it. I will still try to schedule another one for us to go to make up for that one, but it doesn't always pan out. But basketball season, the winter can be really, really rough on the kids. Very busy schedules. And so we actually allow our 7th and 8th grade to substitute for high schoolers. Middle schoolers get extra credit, and the high schoolers get 100% for their grade. So yeah, after school hours, we got pep band, concert. Solo ensemble is optional. That's usually in February. Festival, concert season festival is sometime between February and March. It's the end of February, early March. And we don't know those dates, unfortunately, probably until about January is when I get told. So, spring concert will be in April. And then the one that a lot of people forget about, the band does play on Memorial Day. We go around to cemeteries and do some performances. So everybody who's in high school band is required to do that, except for the seniors who just graduated. The last thing I have on here, how to get notifications. If you feel like you don't get information, there's a couple ways to do that or help change that. The first one, the one that I communicate most on, is Remind. So if you text at MNUFF to the number 81010, that should get you signed up for Remind text messages. And then you can communicate to me as well. And it does say that if you're having trouble using that number, you can text it to an actual phone number, and that might work. So I use Remind for most of my students. If you are on Facebook, we have two Facebook groups. We have Manton Bands, and then we have Manton Band Boosters for communicating. And then, of course, you can reach out to me. My email is mnuffer@mantonschools.org. So again, sorry this is kind of long, but hopefully this helped clarify a few things. And don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Thanks so much.